Welcome back to our channel, World Coins History. As you knew that old is gold, but these rare $1 coins that are most valuable than you think, don't spend one of them, so please watch complete video and find your treasure. Let's start this. Top 1. Today, we're diving into one of the most fascinating modern coins in United States history, the 2000 Sacagawea $1 coin. Now, don't let its shiny golden color or common appearance fool you. This little coin might just be the golden ticket hiding in plain sight. Some versions of this coin are turning heads in the collector world, and could be worth a small fortune. So grab your magnifying glass and your coin jar, because you're going to want to hear this all the way to the end. Trust me, this isn't just pocket change. Let's rewind to the year 2000. The U.S. Mint introduced the Sacagawea dollar to replace the Susan B. Anthony dollar. It featured a groundbreaking design, a bold tribute to Sacagawea, the heroic Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark across the wild American frontier. On the front, or obverse, Sacagawea is shown with her infant son Jean-Baptiste on her back. Her gaze is calm, strong, and forward-looking, a symbol of courage and hope. Flip the coin over and you'll see a soaring eagle, representing peace and freedom. The coin was made with a unique blend of copper, zinc, manganese, and nickel, giving it that distinctive golden tone. But here's where it gets interesting. Most people think the 2000 Sacagawea dollar is just another common coin. After all, millions were minted for circulation. But what collectors know, and what most people miss, is that not all Sacagawea dollars are created equal. There are special versions, rare editions, and jaw-dropping mint errors that turn this ordinary-looking coin into something extraordinary. These are the coins that keep collectors up at night. One of the most famous and valuable varieties is known as the Cheerios dollar. Back in 1999, before the official release of the coin, the U.S. Mint partnered with General Mills and placed around 5,500 Sacagawea dollars in Cheerios cereal boxes as a promotional campaign. But here's the catch: these weren't your average Sacagawea dollars. The eagle on the back had enhanced, highly detailed tail feathers, a design that was later changed before full production. That small design difference? It made those early Cheerios dollars incredibly rare. If you find one of these, you've struck gold, literally and figuratively. But wait, there's more. Other rare varieties include coins that were mistakenly struck on the wrong planchet, like one that was made on a quarter blank. Others have off-center strikes, double dies, or smooth edges that were never meant to be released to the public. And don't forget the legendary Wounded Eagle variety, where a die gouge makes it appear as though the eagle on the reverse side has a line running through its chest, making it a standout error that collectors hunt for tirelessly. So why do collectors care so much about these small details? Because rarity, condition, and uniqueness are what make a coin truly valuable. When a coin has a story, a mistake, or a connection to history, it becomes more than metal. It becomes a treasure. Now, if you're lucky enough to find a Sacagawea dollar from the year 2000 that has the right error, or is one of the famous Cheerios variants, and it's in pristine, uncirculated condition, you could be sitting on something truly incredible. And now, the moment you've been waiting for: a genuine 2000 Sacagawea dollar with the rare tail feather variety or mint error, in top condition, has been valued as high as $40,000. Yes, you heard that right. One small coin, worth more than a brand new car. Or two. So, go ahead, check your old cereal boxes, dig through your coin collection, or ask your grandparents if they have any tucked away. You never know where one of these hidden gems might be waiting. Top 2, we're diving into a coin that often goes unnoticed, yet holds a fascinating story and some surprising collector value: the Zachary Taylor $1 coin. This isn't just any coin. This dollar honors the 12th President of the United States, Zachary Taylor, who served from 1849 to 1850. While his time in office was short, the story of this coin, and what it could be worth today, is anything but. The Zachary Taylor presidential dollar was released in 2009 as part of the U.S. Mint's ambitious presidential $1 coin program, which honored each U.S. president in the order they served. This coin features a bold portrait of Taylor on the obverse, with his name, order of presidency, and the years he served inscribed around the rim. On the reverse, like all presidential dollars in this series, you'll find the stunning image of the Statue of Liberty, representing freedom and the American spirit. Now, most people assume these coins are only worth face value, a single dollar. But as seasoned collectors know, not all coins are created equal. And in the world of numismatics, even a tiny error can turn a common coin into a rare treasure. Here's what makes the Zachary Taylor dollar especially interesting. It's one of the coins from this series that was affected by serious minting mistakes. That's right, due to production issues in 2009, some of these coins were released without edge lettering. Now normally, presidential dollars have critical information engraved along the edge, the year of minting, mint mark, and the phrases, E pluribus unum, and, In God we trust. But in this rare error variety, that edge lettering is completely missing. These coins are known as missing edge lettering errors, and they're highly sought after by collectors. Why? Because these errors are extremely hard to come by. Only a small percentage of the total Zachary Taylor dollar coins left the mint without this important detail. That mistake turned an everyday coin into a prized collectible, but that's not all. There are also coins with inverted edge lettering, where the text was engraved upside down, and even some double edge lettering errors where the phrases appear twice. These error coins are like misprints in old books, rare, unique, and valuable, and if you find one that's not only an error coin but also in uncirculated or proof condition, you've really got something special. Coins that have never been used, handled carefully, and preserved in mint state can fetch significantly more on the collector market. Collectors are always looking for these rare varieties to complete their presidential dollar sets, and because error coins like these are finite, their value continues to rise as they become harder to find. Now for the big question, what's it worth? A standard Zachary Taylor dollar coin in circulated condition is generally worth about $1. But if you're lucky enough to own a missing edge lettering error coin in mint condition, or one with a rare edge variant, you could be looking at a coin that's worth up to $65. That's right, $65 for a coin you might have dismissed as pocket change. And who knows? If it's a proof version or part of a sealed mint roll, the value could go even higher. So before you spend that golden dollar, take a closer look. Check the edges. Examine the details. That Zachary Taylor coin might just be the next hidden gem in your collection. Top 3, we're diving into one of the most beautifully designed and historically meaningful coins in the United States dollar series, the Sacagawea $1 coin featuring the Great Law of Peace. At first glance, this coin might look like just another golden dollar, but behind its artwork lies a deep story of heritage, unity, and peace. And for some lucky collectors, it also holds surprising value. So, whether you're new to the world of coin collecting or a seasoned numismatist, sit tight, because this is one coin you'll want to take a closer look at. You may even have one hiding in your collection right now, and if you're lucky, it could be worth far more than just $1. Let's start with the design. This coin was part of the Native American $1 coin program, launched by the U.S. Mint in 2009. Each year, the reverse side of the Sacagawea dollar was redesigned to honor Native American contributions to the history and development of the United States. The version we're talking about today features a powerful and symbolic theme, the Great Law of Peace, the founding political structure of the Iroquois Confederacy, which many believe helped inspire aspects of the U.S. Constitution. The reverse side shows two hands, one from a Native American and one from a colonial settler, exchanging a wampum belt, which symbolizes the agreement and alliance formed under the Great Law of Peace. In the background, you'll see 5 arrows bound together, representing the unity of the original 5 nations of the Iroquois Confederacy: Mohawk, Oneida, Onondaga, Cayuga, and Seneca. It's not just a coin, it's a lesson in diplomacy, respect, and early democratic thought. And that's just one of the reasons collectors love this issue. Now let's talk rarity. The Sacagawea Great Law of Peace dollar was released in 2010 and was not widely circulated like earlier dollar coins. Most were minted for collectors or included in sets, meaning they're far less common in everyday change. But here's where things get even more exciting. Some of these coins were struck with errors or in special conditions, and that's where the value really starts to climb. Among the rarest finds are coins with planchet errors, like being struck on the wrong metal blank. Others have double die errors, where the image or lettering appears to be slightly duplicated due to a misalignment during the striking process, and then there are the proof and satin finish versions, struck with extra care for coin sets. These coins have an incredible shine and sharp detail, and when kept in pristine condition, free of fingerprints, scratches, or wear, they become highly desirable among serious collectors. But here's something many people don't realize: a small number of these coins were mistakenly released without edge inscriptions. That's right, normally, these coins have important details engraved on the edge, including the year, mint mark, and national mottos like E pluribus unum. Missing edge lettering is a recognized and highly collectible mint error that can significantly boost a coin's value. So, how much is it worth? A standard 2010 Sacagawea, Great Law of Peace, dollar in circulated condition might be worth just a little over face value, maybe $2 or $3 to the right buyer. But if you have one that's in uncirculated condition, or part of a mint or proof set, or even better, one with a recognized minting error, you could be holding onto a coin that's worth as much as $80. That's right, $80 for a single dollar coin, especially if it has that rare edge error or is kept in flawless, untouched condition. So don't overlook those golden coins sitting in drawers, jars, or tucked away in old collections. The Sacagawea, Great Law of Peace, dollar is more than just currency, it's history in your hand, and for the lucky few, a little piece of treasure. Top 4. We're diving into one of the most iconic and beloved coins in American history, a coin that not only celebrates a president, but an entire nation's birthday. Yes, we're talking about the Kennedy half-dollar with the dual date 1776 to 1976, the United States Bicentennial half-dollar. And while millions were made, some versions of this coin are far from ordinary. In fact, if you have the right one in your collection, it could be worth far more than just 50 cents. So get comfortable, and stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, and how much it could be worth in today's collector market. Let's start with the backstory. The year 1976 marked America's 200th birthday, and to celebrate, the U.S. Mint issued special bicentennial coins, quarters, half-dollars, and dollars, each with a unique reverse design and dual dating of 1776, 1976. On the obverse of this half-dollar, you'll still find the familiar portrait of President John F. Kennedy, first introduced after his assassination in 1963. But flip it over, and here's where things get interesting. The reverse features an image you won't see on any other Kennedy half, Independence Hall, the birthplace of American freedom. That design alone makes this coin a standout. But it's not just the design that has collectors hunting for these coins. It's the rarity, condition, and special versions that turn an ordinary half-dollar into something truly valuable. Let's talk about what makes some of these bicentennial halves rare and expensive. First, the metal composition. Most 1776 to 1976 Kennedy halves were struck in copper-nickel clad, the standard for modern circulating coins. These were minted in Philadelphia and Denver and are fairly common today, but here's the twist: the U.S. Mint also produced special 40% silver versions, which were not released for circulation. These silver coins were included only in mint sets, proof sets, and special collector releases. If you have a Kennedy bicentennial half that feels heavier or sounds different when dropped, you might just have one of these silver treasures. Next, the finish. There are a few versions to look out for: proof coins, struck in San Francisco with a mirror-like finish and a sharp strike; uncirculated silver coins, also from San Francisco, often with a satin finish; and even rarer, coins with errors. That's right, there are error versions of the 1776 to 1976 Kennedy half-dollar that collectors pay top dollar for. These include double die obverse or reverse, where the text or design appears slightly doubled; off-center strikes, where the design is not properly aligned; missing clad layers, revealing a copper core; and perhaps most famously, coins with no S mint mark on proof issues. These are ultra-rare mistakes that should have never left the mint. Now, you might be wondering, how can you tell what kind you have? Start by checking for a mint mark. AD means it was minted in Denver. No mark usually means Philadelphia. ANS indicates it came from San Francisco, and if it's an S mint and has a shiny or frosted finish, it might just be silver. Weighing the coin is another way to check. A copper-nickel version weighs about 11.34 grams, while the silver-clad coins come in at about 11.5 grams, a small difference, but noticeable with a precise scale. So here's the part you've been waiting for, the value. Most circulated Kennedy Bicentennial half dollars are still worth about 50 cents to a few dollars, depending on their condition. But if you have a 40% silver uncirculated or proof coin, especially in pristine condition, or one with a minting error, you could be holding a coin worth as much as $120. That's right, $120 for a coin you might have received as change or found in a collection. So don't underestimate this beautiful bicentennial coin. Check your half dollars, especially those dated 1776 to 1976. Look for silver shine, odd errors, and those all-important mint marks. Your next coin treasure might already be in your pocket. Top 5, and last rare coin. Today, we're traveling back to the year 1974, a time of political shifts, economic uncertainty, and, yes, some truly fascinating coins that still show up in our change jars, pocket lint, or old collections. But here's the twist: while most people see a regular 1974 penny, quarter, or half dollar and think it's just loose change, collectors know that some of these coins are hiding valuable secrets. So if you've got any 1974 coins lying around, listen closely. You might just be sitting on a rare piece of American minting history, and you won't even know it until you look a little closer. Let's start with a coin that almost everyone has held, the 1974 Lincoln penny. Millions were minted across Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. But among those everyday cents lies one of the most famous and controversial coins in U.S. history, the 1974 aluminum penny. Yep, you heard that right. In 1974, the U.S. Mint experimented with minting pennies out of aluminum instead of copper. Why? Because copper prices were rising, and the government feared the cost of making pennies would soon be more than the coin's actual value. About 1.5 million aluminum pennies were struck, but here's the catch: they were never released to the public. Almost all were recalled and destroyed. But a very small number somehow slipped out, and those rare survivors are now the stuff of legend in the coin world. Even though it's technically illegal to own one, rumors of surviving 1974 aluminum cents still spark the imagination, and bidding wars. Now, let's jump to another fascinating coin, the 1974 Kennedy half dollar. Most of these were struck in copper nickel clad, and circulated heavily. But if you happen to have one with a proof finish or one that was part of a special mint set, especially with a mirror-like surface and sharp detail, you could be looking at a more valuable version. Even better? Keep your eyes peeled for error coins, like double dies, off-center strikes, or struck-through errors, where foreign material leaves a permanent impression on the coin's surface. These minting mistakes are rare, and collectors love them. And don't forget the 1974 Lincoln cent. There are known varieties with doubling in the date and lettering, especially around Liberty and In God We Trust. These double die errors aren't always obvious at first glance, but once spotted under magnification, they stand out, and stand up in value. Let's also talk about the 1974 Eisenhower dollar. Big, bold, and heavy, these coins were minted for both circulation and collectors. While the regular clad versions are still affordable, the 40% silver versions, especially in uncirculated or proof condition, are worth keeping an eye on. These were only included in special mint sets, so if you've got one, check the edge for silver shine, because it might not be your average dollar coin. Here's what's really important: condition matters. A coin in circulated, worn condition is one thing, but coins that have been stored carefully, untouched, and still hold their original luster? That's where the real value is. So now the big question: what are 1974 coins really worth today? Well, most 1974 pennies, quarters, and half dollars in circulation are still worth face value, unless they're in brilliant uncirculated condition or have an error. But for those rare finds, a 1974 double die penny, a proof Eisenhower dollar, or a silver Kennedy half, collectors have been known to pay up to $150 depending on rarity, condition, and demand. That's right, $150. For a coin that could be sitting in your old coin jar or hidden in plain sight. So go check your collection, take a closer look at those 1974 coins, and remember, it's not just about what's in your wallet, but what's in your knowledge. Because sometimes, the rarest treasures don't look rare at all, until you know what to look for. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and tap that bell so you don't miss out on more hidden coin secrets and collector tips. Until next time, happy hunting, and may your change bring you more than just spare cents.